Hi guys, Sarah Pings here. It's blooming cold. It's been raining all day. It's pitch black outside and it's only 5 o'clock. Huh? What's all that about? Winter. And because I'm determined not to put my heating on yet, I'm absolutely freezing. It's so stupid, isn't it? Anyway, I've got socks and slippers. What more could you want? I'm here to do a little tutorial on how to do your YouTube channel banner and how to bring in images that may be bigger than the resolution that you need and how to resize them and stuff like that. I'm using GIMP. The link is down below for downloading GIMP, and the link is down below for the template that I used for the banner, which is available from the YouTube site. I'm also putting the link to the YouTube page explaining about the channel art stuff, which is okay. It's very informative, but it can be a bit confusing if you're new to all of this. I'm going to do a new channel header from scratch to show you the different layers and putting on type and all of that kind of stuff. I hope it's useful, and I will be back after the screencast. Like my last tutorial, I suggest you watch this full screen so that you can actually see the detail, because I'm going to be clicking on little things. If you just keep it to the YouTube page, you're not going to really see the detail. So that's my first tip. See you in a bit. Bye. Okay, so this is my channel, and here you can see the channel banner. YouTube automatically puts your logo channel account picture in here, so you've got to bear in mind when you do your design, if you're going to be a bit don't be too busy is my main tip here. Don't put too much stuff in. I used a panoramic picture that I took from the we've got this kind of thing like the eye, a big, you know, Ferris wheelie thing, which I like because it's a big stretch of Brighton. It's where I live, it's me. So what I did was I went to the YouTube site here. I will put the link in the description box below, but this gives you a little video actually on how to do your channel art. So this is pretty much redundant, but anyway, I'm going to show you. It also tells you the settings that you need. This is the image size that your YouTube channel art will be, which is in pixels. So it's 2560 by 1440. And then it shows you the restricted kind of safe areas because it displays differently on different kinds of hardware. It also has a template to download for Fireworks, which is an Adobe program, or for Photoshop. Now I'm using GIMP, which is an open source software. Let's just show you. And GIMP is free to download and use. It's a fantastically good program. I really can't recommend it highly enough. I've used Photoshop nearly all my kind of computing life, but all you've got to do is click on the little download button here, and it shows you which version to download. Anyway, make sure that the download page looks like this and isn't one of those silly fake sites. Let me see if I can find one. I don't think it'll be on CNET, but you never know. There are some sites that try to get you to pay. I really wouldn't go anywhere other than the GIMP site itself. Okay, GIMP, GNU Image Manipulation, a program. There are some fantastic tutorials for using GIMP. If you're new to image manipulation, there's a whole load of stuff. It goes from beginner right the way through to expert, into photo editing, web stuff. It's really, they're good tutorials. I thoroughly recommend them. But that's not what I'm here to talk about for the moment. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new banner channel art for this, but I'm going to show you how it will look on all different types of media. And when you open the program, it just opens with a very small image. It's taking a while because of the screencast, I'm afraid. Here we go. So there's 2.6. I'm sure I've got 2.8 loaded, but I don't know. It's probably an old version. It has to load all different sorts of extensions and all the brushes and different manipulation stuff, so it takes a while. And you have two main little semi windows here. This is your kind of your desktop area, and these are your toolbars. They keep them separate. Now if you want to maximize it with Windows, you just push something up to the top and it will fill the window. And the first thing you want to do actually is go here to Windows and recently closed docs and show layers, channels, paths. And you'll get another toolbar up here. You're going to need this in a minute as you work your way around the image. So what we're going to do is we're going to open the template that I downloaded. So I'm going to open the template. And the template that I want to use, I can't actually see, but that's because the setting down here says all images, and you want to scoot up to the top and go all files, and now you can see channel, art, template, Photoshop. Now the reason that I can't see it is because technically my computer can't open this, but GIMP is a wonderful thing and it will open it. You'll get a little message, convert to RGB working space. Yes, you can convert, or you can keep it as it is. It really doesn't make much of a muchness here because we're dealing with a template that's in grey, so I'm just going to click keep. Okay. So here we have our template. The dotted line here is showing you the picture that actual size, which is 2560 by 1440 pixels. If you go up here as well, you will see some details. You'll see the name of the file. You'll see that it's RGB, which is what we use for web, red, green and blue colours rather than CMYK, but we're not going there. And you'll see that it has 11 layers. Don't get scared. And you'll see the size there as well. If you scoot over to the right here, again, if this isn't here, this little thing, when you open it, just go to Windows and recently closed docs and you'll see it in there, okay? But out of habit, I automatically open it when I open GIMP so that everything is tickety-boo once I've opened a picture. We aren't going to use all of these layers. These layers are here. I'm just going to close the little eyes. These don't get rid of the layers, they just stop them being visible. So basically this is the size of the image that we need to use, and this is the desktop minimum size, I think, yes. This is what will be viewed on a tablet with the dark grey. This long banner here is what would be seen on a large desktop monitor, and then here all we've got are some text layers in here that give you the dimensions of each particular measurement. When it comes down to it, we're actually going to flatten the whole layer down just with our image. So I can keep all of these layers for the moment because they help me. They help me to position things neatly, but don't worry, we're not going to actually see all of this in our final image. So scoot down to the bottom. This very bottom layer here is called the background layer, and you, in good practice, you shouldn't ever really put anything straight onto the background. What you want to do is create a new layer, so I'm going to have 12 layers at minimum, layer, new layer, and as you can see over here, they are named intelligently, good practice. If you say what it is, then it's going to be much easier when you come to editing it to either delete it or to hide it or to bring it into the front of the image or take it to the back, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to call it Brighten Pick, and I'm going to keep it transparent. And OK. And now over here you'll see that I have this layer called a Brighten Pick, which is transparent, so it's There's nothing there yet. The best way to bring in an image is to actually open it in a new window. So we're going to go File and Open, and I'm going to find the image that I want, which is this picture here. If you can't see the preview, just click here and then you'll be able to see it, and then it should remember that for the next time. I'm going to just click on all of these so that we can see them later. Might not work. Sometimes it's a bit funny. Doesn't do what you want it to do, but anyway, here we go, graffiti. Now I'm choosing this image because it really suits the whole idea of the banner really well. So I'm going to open it, and oh my lord, where is it? Well, actually it's hidden behind here. So if you see the two things, it kind of works quite nicely because I'm going to have a central image which will have this in, and then I'm going to have the road down here which will be here, and the sky with the high-rise block up here, because as I said, I don't really care. I can always cover this with something else if I really want to be creative. So now, this is where people get confused. It's about image size. So you can see that this image is 3264 by 2448. So it's actually bigger than the size of the template that I'm going to put it into. But we're not going to worry about that. We're going to go Edit and Copy and then minimize it. And then we're going to come back to this file and go Edit, and we're going to make sure that we're clicked on our Brighton pick layer and Edit and Paste into. And as you can see, if I pick up, this is the moving tool here, this 4 arrow, you will see that the picture is bigger than my area. Now, you can either be happy with that and move it around until you find what you want, or you can shrink this layer. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to make this Brighton pick layer smaller. So we go to Layer and we go to Scale Layer, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it to the same width as the template, which is 2560. And then when you click out here, you'll see that it automatically keeps the proportions. This is called the aspect ratio. So, but you'll see that the height is a bit more. It's 1920, and our height here is 1440. That doesn't bother me. I'm going to leave it like that because I don't really mind if it's a little bit too high. And I'm going to go Scale. And then you'll see now that pretty much, now this dotted line here is my image. So let's move this along a bit. So as long as you see where the grey is in the background. Okay. Now, here is our safe area for tablets. And you can see where the dark area is. That's the safe area for the main desktop. So I'm going to scoot it along a bit so that all of Great Brighton is visible in the main banner, and I'm going to scoot it up a little bit, which I can afford to do, don't forget, because it's still quite tall, so that I get a bit more of the Union Jack in here. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. While I'm at it, good practice, I'm just going to File and Save. I'm just going to keep, well, in fact, let's call it the Brighton banner. I'm not going to change anything, I'm just going to save it. You'll see that it saves it as an XCF file, and that's GIMP format. That's going to be no use later on because we're going to need to export it as a sort of traditional image picture like a JPEG or a GIF or a PNG. All right. So I'm quite happy with this. If you remember the original picture here, you'll see that your profile shot is going to come in here as well. I can't remember, it's about 100 pixels in, I think. Don't quote me on that. So the trouble with that is it's going to come in round about the grate. I don't really mind that though. It might even show as eat Brighton, which would be even funnier. But you can experiment with that. Now, if you want to put some text in here, don't forget all of this text that's on here, so let's get rid of it so that you don't get befuddled with it. We'll just use the grey. So now there's no text on here, we don't have to worry too much about it. We've got a little bit of a grey area here. So actually I'm just going to pull this along a bit more to fill it. So we probably are going to see eat Brighton. I quite like that. Right. So we've got the picture where we want it. Maybe we want to put in some text, bearing in mind you're quite limited on space here. Social media tags like Google Plus and Instagram and stuff, if you've got them enabled, are going to go here. And your profile pic is going to come kind of here. But I'm going to put in a little text box. You click on the text tool, you'll immediately see that there's a menu here that comes up. And you draw the text box where you kind of want it. You can move it around and you'll see that you get a little editor, and I'm just going to write Sarah Pings in here and close. Here's a ghost image of the text box. So far the colour of my text is black, but when I click on the colour I get a little colour wheel in here. And I'm on a red background, so maybe really I should be going to white. The text size is 18 pixels. Because this is a big image, that's a little bit small, so let's whack it up. Oopsie, not quite that much. And you can then extend this like this and close it up a bit. You'll see that you've created immediately, as soon as you put text onto the onto a layer, it creates a new layer. But I'm not very fond of that font, so here I can go through and change my font to whatever I jolly well like. You know me from my YouTube videos, I'm a big fan of let's find it. Touch bold, maybe a bit bigger, and I think that's about right. Close, and now I can use my moving tool here. You see pick a layer or guide or move the active layer. Well, this is my active layer, so now I'm going to move that. Do you see now I can move my text wherever I want it? So I'm going to stick it there. And I'm going to save again. I'm not saving as anything other than a GIMP image at the moment. And I'm going to leave it at that for this one. So I'm actually going to delete all of these layers here that I don't need. Remember, if you delete something by mistake, you can always do Control Z and it will bring it back. So now I'm losing, as you can see, I'm losing all of that text, and I've now lost all of the shading. I can actually also delete the background layer now, And then I'm going to go up here to layer and I'm going to go merge down, and this will flatten the image. So now I can't actually move anything. It all turns into one flat image. So yeah, you go layer and merge down. If it's grayed out, it means you can't merge down. Don't worry if you can't do this at this stage, because the way we're going to save it is we're going to go File and Save As. And now I'm going to save it as Brighton Banner 1 because I'm going to do something else, but I don't want this XCF because nothing will recognize it. So you need to go here to select file type, and then you can choose what you want, and I'm going to save it as a JPEG. And then you'll get a little dialog menu that comes up and says, oh, you need to flatten the image because we have a transparent layer in there. So you just click export and it will automatically flatten the image. I want my quality at 100%. It's a smaller file if you make the quality a bit lower, but I want it full on. I want to show the preview image because I want it here. And I click save. I'm not going to bother with any advanced options at all. And then I'm going to come back in a minute and show you what it looks like uploaded onto the YouTube site. So here I am back on my site again. If you go to the top right hand corner of your channel image, you'll see a little edit pencil. Click that, edit, and we're going to go to edit channel art. And here I'm going to go select a photo from my computer, and I'm going to go to desktop management, and I think I saved it in here. There it is, Brighton Banner 1, and I'm going to open that. You can see it's a 2 MB file, not too huge, but still very, very high quality. So I'm sitting here with a 22-inch monitor and it should have absolutely no pixelation. It should look very good. As good as it can be, given the fact that it's just a picture with a bit of text on it. Once it's uploaded, you get a nice little preview of what it's going to look on the mobile page, on a desktop, and here on the TV. I'm not going to adjust my crop because I've pretty much done it the way I want it. So I'm going to go select, and you'll see that it's saving it. And now there we are. Look, didn't even need the, it just says Great Brighton Sarah Pings, and there's my little image there. So it's worked quite nicely. I quite like it. Might leave it on there for a while. And I will do a part 2 video because I think this has been going on for long enough. And I'll do a part 2 which will show you a tutorial of actually building up a banner using lots of different pictures. Okay, but for the moment, there we go. Hope that is helpful.